Hi, Miss Elaine Young. This is Annie Aranier Chavez. This is our third week, our third individual assignment, effective listening strategy report. So during this report, I found two articles that were very interesting, very informational, and really good resources for future reference in our field. As we all know, listening strategies are important in what we're going into. We as human service professionals are going to work with a large variety of people in different communities, different races, different nationalities, all kinds of people. So in that case, we need to know how to listen and how to be prepared to help these people. We can also use listening strategies in our daily life, including our family, friends, co-workers, at work. That's probably the most important thing to know is listening skills to be prepared to solve any kind of issue problem that we're having between colleagues. And that's one of my articles. The first one is called Listening Skills to Facilitate Effective Communication. This article is to intended for colleagues to colleague. So it's more based on schools and how, teacher to teachers having problems and kind of teaching them how to be more effective in their listening strategies and skills. It explains it explains, development and how good to listen, and it also includes steps towards collaborating well with your colleagues and families as well, these students. The article is very interesting. It added a lot of stuff that we learned in the book as well, like exploration, reflecting, clarifying, summarizing, all that good stuff. And it also had the steps for general opening and offering support. So with offering support, as soon as you let that person know, hey, I'm here for you, what's going on, it gives them that general opening that they need. So once you offer that support, they're going to be like, okay, I need to talk to you. And that's when the listening begins. Silence also, that was in the book as well, but it was it was in the article as well. And it was very interesting because some people don't know how to stay quiet while they're listening, and that is one of the big main things was in this article was silence, and let them talk and let them say what they have to say. And that's when you state the implied, and I believe that means you state what you believe they had just said, kind of like a summarizing, but not a summarizing. But it's very interesting. Learning skills that the article discusses also were summarizing. In the end, you summarize and make sure everything was correct from both parties, or we still need some more help to continue back to reflecting and stating. In the end of the article, there was a pretty interesting little steps to consider when you're listening and trying to become a better listener. They were kind of like to take in consideration when you're going to start listening to someone. So it was really good reference. I actually saved that article just in case I might need those 10 recommendations again and have to go back once I'm a professional. My second article was it was called The Gift of Listening, Just Listen program. So that was a little more in what I'm doing as well. Very interesting because, as you know, I am a healthcare professional as well as an LVN, and sometimes when we go to doctor's appointments, we're not listening to our patients. We're just, this is what you need, this is what you have, this is what you need to take, and bye. We don't listen, we don't take in consideration if they need extra help. So that's what this article was more about, the Just Listening program, where they're allowing their LVNs, nurses, medical assistants, their staff, the receptionists to listen to patients and to make sure that they don't need something else. They had a real life story in the in the article where it states that a man was homeless, and once he opened up and talked to one of the staff members, they found out that he was still grieving on his mother's death, and that's why he's been homeless for 20 years, was because his mother passed away 20 years. So it was very interesting where the staff members actually got him the help he needed, and he felt the comfort, and he got the help he needed. So that's a very interesting thing, that lots of healthcare professionals don't listen. So this article was just speaking of the program where now you have to listen to your healthcare, to your patients, as well as if you go to, for example, if you go to Planned Parenthood will listen to you and will give you different resources for different sites. If you've been molested, raped, if you just had an abortion, they give you all those resources to get the help you need. Other than healthcare, it's also mental health. I really like these two articles. I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna have them saved in my computer and have them for future reference, because everybody needs little help like that. And especially the second article, the Just Listen program, was very knowledgeable. I did not know that was going on until now. So that's a very good thing for me, especially as being a double professional, if you must say, human services and LVN, going into my RN. So the listening strategies that I learned, I did say them earlier, but I'm going to repeat them, was the silence strategy, the open offering support is very important, because they will never know if you are willing to help them if you don't offer that support to them, as well as general opening, starting the conversation, getting to it slowly, not right away say you have a problem. No, you just sit there and slowly bring the conversation up, and that's a general opening. That's how they'll start talking to you, these people. I also learned the summarizing. Of course, we know that one, but it's very important to keep in mind that if it's not correct the first time, you have to start over, and that's very important. In the summarizing, you need to make sure everything is set and everything's critical, everything's correct, and both of the parties are on the same page. If not, start over and let's try this again. Well, we're a little over under 7 minutes. Well, that's all I have to say.